What's up, everybody, and welcome to Moments with the Mobleys. I am your man, Johnnie Mobley Jr.
And I'm his wife, Deirdra Mobley.
And we are something like an ordinary. That was so bad English. We are something like an ordinary.
With extraordinary purpose.
Go ahead.
Greetings, salutations, accolades, and blessings. Is patrons on here? Hey, patrons! So, several weeks ago, we was tussling, and now here we are weeks later, and we have celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary. Actually, yesterday. So when y'all see this, it'll be a few days since we celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary. Did you know that I read today that they have like birthstones, they have like
Everybody calling.
10 they have like 10-year anniversary, they have a certain stone for that, 20th year, 30th, 40th. Well, 30th.
I'm gonna answer this on the thing.
So guys, that phone call was about the fact that one of the twins called me. She's in Atlanta. They're doing something for her job that she needs a baby picture. Apparently, we never took any baby pictures of our kids because we don't know where none of them are.
We had too many. They was moving around. It was happening too fast. Anybody had no time to take no pictures.
And so Johnny's mom had like pictures of everybody for every age and every stage. And my father-in-law threw the bag with all the pictures out by mistake. I secretly think he was didn't want to take the bag out to the trash. But anyway, so she didn't have any. So then my dad ended up having the pit set of I think it was like some Easter pictures they took.
Our parents got pictures of our daughters, and we did.
And so I sent them. Well, we had them take the pictures, baby. So at some point we had the pictures.
Yeah.
We just need to find them. So, but my daddy for the win because he keeps all of his like up and in the house. So they just scanned it to me. So big shouts out to Daddy and Vanessa.
So this is what I want, Allison. That's two separate things we did in the beginning. You could take them and cut them and just put them and use them for some footage. And then we can just pick up from right here.
And so,
What'd you say?
what happens? She was like, she's just shady. That's her job. She got it.
Oh,
and so yesterday, where did I leave up? The stone for 30th wedding anniversary is actually pearls.
Are they?
They are. So you know what that means? I need a new set of pearls for my ears. We can get them next week. It's okay.
I can do that.
Okay. So
about that other thing.
What?
We ain't doing that.
My carrots? My car? What?
The pearls on the other side. We ain't doing that.
I'm sick of you. Oh, I wasn't talking about that. I actually can buy you some pearls too.
I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good. Let's finish talk.
Okay.
All right.
You digress from that?
I ain't even crunk up from it.
Oh,
I ain't
okay.
To digress from.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
We'll talk about the pearls for
your ears.
For him on
for your ears.
on
No.
night.
We're not talking about that.
So listen, 30 years married. We met in August of 1986. We married in
1986. That sounds so long.
So in August of this year, it'll be 36 years since we met. Yesterday, we celebrated 30 years of marriage. We got married March 14th, 1992.
Which she actually forgot. We went to one of her parents.
We went to a family reunion and it was church that Sunday, and people was asking for like newlyweds or whatever. And I stood up and I said the wrong.
You remember what date you said?
I don't remember.
18th.
I said the right year, the wrong date. It's okay.
In front of the whole church.
And he corrected me in front of the whole church. And so we got married March 14th, 1992. We had 2 kids when we got married, And November of 1992, we had
4.
2 more.
Those the twins. We had 4 kids. We had 4 kids in like 7 months. I don't know how that happened.
Stupid. You're crazy. We did not.
I came home, it was a child.
It was a child, right? Oh Lord!
I had to walk in the house with my eyes closed. Cause every time I look at you.
My daddy was like, "You pregnant again?
We don't even know how it happened.
Can't happen." And not just 1, but 2 babies. And so that was March of
they told me one of them was a boy.
November of 92, and then April of 94 was the last baby. I asked to get my tubes tied.
She was too young
when I got pregnant with the twins, and they told me I was too young.
With the twins,
I wasn't 21 yet.
They told me both of them was boys. I mean, one of them was a boy, one of them was a girl. And Bridget, I just wanted you to know your name was gonna be Bobby.
And
your mama changed.
He had all these names picked out with the nurses. Now, mind
Bobby and Bridget.
Them heifers didn't hold them babies for 8 months.
Bobby.
It was me.
Then
but you making names with making names with the nurses.
Then when Johnisha was born, she was the last one, and I wanted her name to be Johnny. Mm-hmm. And then when that birth certificate came home, she put a "sh" on it.
Right.
It spelled like my first name with a "sh" on it.
And another nurse, remember the lady? Yeah. Another nurse, she was like, "Oh, I think Johnny would be a beautiful name."
Oh, yeah.
Whose pocketbook did she just come out of? Mine.
But she gave bad examples, and I was trying to tell her to hush because she was saying like, I was like, we could just call her Johnny. It'll be fine. She'll be a girl name and be named Johnny. She's like, yeah, because they used to have Johnny made. No, you ain't helping.
Yeah,
you ain't helping.
No,
Johnny, something else she said, and people had to look on her face like somebody just falling into the room.
I don't even understand why this conversation is going on, and that's my baby. Oh, just pushed her out.
See how
it's
that
okay.
was? That's my baby.
Well, it was his too, but that should have been something that we were talking about together.
You're right. I was wrong. That's what we're going to talk about in this. See, it says...
That's not what we're talking about.
One of the things it said, apologizing is not a sign of weakness.
So, y'all, listen.
I was wrong.
Listen. So, 30 things that we've learned in 30 years. And so, of course, we always got to look up something. So we're not specifically going by this person's list, just some random person I found on Google who have been married for 30 years. And so some of these things we may agree with, some of these things we may disagree with, and we have our own thing to put in that place. Yeah. And so that's what we're doing tonight. So you're going to get a total of 30 things that we've learned in 30 years.
Because if we talk about everything in depth,
right, then it'll be 30
days and 30 nights. And that's too long.
That's too long.
Allison got to take her babies home.
We got gym in the morning.
We got a gym in the morning.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Dang,
so
we had a gym in the morning.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know you did. So... Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I had some peanuts. Excuse me. What peanuts got to do with a burp? I don't know. So listen. So the one thing talks about apologies, and that's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. So in 30 years, we have learned that you must.
I was getting a nap in for the gym.
You must not be slow to apologize. Don't take forever to apologize.
No, not now.
That's what I've learned. And we don't take long to apologize.
Not now.
If we mess up, or do something to offend one another, or, hurt my feelings, say something to hurt his feelings, and he does have feelings.
I do.
Men have feelings.
And I say the word.
And he says, he lets me know you hurt my feelings. And so we apologize quickly. We not going to let, the sun go down.
Yeah.
And we around here mad and, angry.
Now, back in the day, it was different.
Yeah, back in the day, we used to stay mad for a long time until we had to remind ourselves why we was mad.
Yeah.
But apologize quickly.
We ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay? 2, Men think differently than women. Men and women do think differently. Some things we have different viewpoints on. But we talk about it, we discuss it, but we always say, what we always say, we're not going to die on this mountain
Yeah.
arguing or fussing about this one particular topic, one particular subject. We're going to figure it out. Some things we got to throw it all away in the trash can and not the trash can in the house, but the dumpster down the street at the grocery store. Because that's just how far removed it is from being relevant in our marriage.
And that's the key word, relevant. Because some stuff you argue over ain't relevant.
At all.
You don't even want it like that.
At
but
all.
You be arguing.
But you be arguing.
Now y'all on separate, yeah. So if it ain't gonna enhance both our lives, if it's something that I can live with and she wants for whatever, then we make it happen, or vice versa. So it ain't like that.
Right.
It ain't like. But if it's something that's causing, if we talking about this one thing for 20 minutes, do we really need this?
Right.
That's the question we ask. Do we really need this?
Is it relevant?
No. Okay. Well, it's gone.
It's gone night. That's about it. Don't tear each other down.
Yeah.
Build each other up.
So
now, I would tear Johnny down in my mind. Did I ever voice it? I think I may have.
I mean,
I wasn't
it's
one
nothing,
to voice it like all the time. No.
Yeah, it's nothing. I don't think
I just
ever
cried.
said anything. I don't think you ever said anything too crazy to me, because you was real timid back in the day. So you know, if something happened or if it got intense, ain't even had to hurt your feelings, you would just cry, and then you would have something to say. But you cried. Now you use your words very, very good.
Oh, I use my words?
Yeah, you use your words very good. It doesn't
sound like I'm a first grader.
Communicate.
Use your words, baby.
Yeah, use your words very good. Your emotions come about. You know how to put them in words now. You speak your piece.
Even if I have to cry through speaking my piece.
You cry through speaking the piece.
Right.
You do the same.
Right.
You know, and we get through it.
But I don't think we've never been at that point where we bash each other or talk down to each other.
I mean, and the whole thing of us having all these girls, I mean, it's just certain things. I couldn't have certain habits. Like, I couldn't be walking around calling nobody a B.
Yeah.
Because, you know, what you practice is going to come out. You know, what's in your heart is going to come out of your mouth. And
yeah.
I couldn't see myself, even if just like Deirdra said, even if you thought certain things in your head, which I did about my wife at times, but I could not say it because I wouldn't dare have my daughters see me call my wife out of her name.
Right.
So it was a great practice to have, and I just never did it. So.
And these are in no, like, order. We're not doing it in order of importance or whatever. We're just, rattling off. When it comes to housework and stuff like that, we didn't. That was a rocky part for us. That was a rocky start for us with that. We did grow up, a little differently, and so, but we got to the point to where we worked that out.
Yeah.
When it came to house cleaning, like, washing the dishes, making the bed, washing the clothes, doing all these things.
That's once I realized it wasn't a book.
Yeah.
Because I called my mom looking for the book that she had on wifing. So
right.
I give it to Deirdra. And then I was amazed that it wasn't no such thing. I was confused.
So create that recipe, like we always talk about, for that part of your marriage as well. We've come to a happy medium with that. It took us a while, but we've come to what works for you works for you. Don't think you have to take the recipe or the whole agenda of somebody else's marriage, of how you're married, to put in place in your house if it doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
So just be cognizant of that part of it. again, for a lot of years, Johnny would do the clothes and he would do different things, and I would agree to put them up. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. But again, we came to a happy medium when it came to that. So that wouldn't be, I guess, a source of discord
Yeah.
any longer or issue in the marriage. That's what we did. Whether when it comes to your chores in the house, do what works for you all. We talk to couples, when we talk to couples and they have an issue with that, okay, figure that out between the two of y'all.
Yeah.
Who's more efficient at doing it? If he's better at doing the bills, you better at doing the chores. He's better at doing the chores, you're better at doing the bills or transporting the kids or do whatever. Make sure that recipe fits your marriage and not your neighbor's.
Create the perfect recipe for your relationship. That's a characteristic right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes my way isn't the best way. Me being the leader of the house, because I am the leader of my house, right, baby?
You are.
And you are submitted unto me, right?
I am.
And we move
Up upon you and under and over. Yeah.
So all of it. So here's the thing. And I tell people this all the time. Me being a leader and being an effective leader, I have to know who's on my team and what their strengths are. Now, the way I'm saying it, it makes it sound like a business and not a marriage. But that's a characteristic that you need to have as a leader. Great leaders always have a great team of people behind them.
Right. Right.
I have a great team member in my wife. So when there's things that I might say that I think we should do, and she said, well, babe, let's look at it this way, and it sounds better and it's more effective, run it. Not what I say, run it. I ain't got no problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes my way ain't always the best way. And I don't think I ever been, well, yeah, that I take that back. Cause I was a little OCD and wanting what I wanted. So before she started saying stuff. But so yeah, my way ain't always the best way. And I know that.
And my way is not always the best way. We do what works for us. And did it take us a minute to get to that? Absolutely. But I'm submitted to the fact that, or committed to the fact that, if we're talking about a situation or a move that we're about to make, if he has the plan and my spirit agrees, and I'm like, okay, babe, or he allows me that freedom to say, well, babe, I know you wrote this out like this, but I think this will help get us to this goal quicker, or maybe we should do this or whatever, just because of this. And it might be something that he knows something about or doesn't know something about.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and at the beginning of the next, we are one and striving for that end result. So whether it's something that I came up with, he came up with, whatever, we on the same team. And so we always remember that. So you always got to remember that as well.
One
right?
of my favorite, absolutely. One of
your favorite
things.
what?
Stop waiting for the perfect time. What we have found in our relationship, in our marriage, from day one, when we was dating, everything, that is no such thing as a perfect time. Because your expectations of what you think go happen, 99.9% of the time, it don't happen the way you think.
And conditions are never perfect.
It's just, you have a plan in your mind. I promise you do. But marriage is a journey. And journeys take you places sometimes you want to go, and other places you just wind up. Not sure how you got there. So we've been places we wanted to go and places we wind up at. We wasn't sure how we got there. So yeah, it's not a perfect timing for everything, but it's definitely you need to make moves to make it happen. So one of my favorite phrases is now or never. When you have a plan, I'm not really sure why you would wait. Unless money or something else like that involved. But a lot of times you have a plan, just use it. People who say, first of the year, I'm going to start this diet and I'm gonna start working out. Just do it. Just start right now. Especially stuff.
And
you
of
can
course,
do.
use wisdom, because that's the
Yeah.
one thing that we always pray for. God, increase our wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Um,
But
but
it's
just
not a
know
perfect
that,
time.
yeah,
When we got married, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't.
we
perfect.
actually got married. We were supposed to be planning a wedding, but through that process, we kept arguing
and,
about petty stuff.
and we wanted to live together. And my parents was like, "You ain't living together unless you marry."
And then we ended up moving in together because I got an apartment, and I didn't want to be in the apartment by myself, and so with the girls,
And that still didn't work for my mama.
right.
That
And so
woman
we
that
got
just
married,
called, that ain't
and it wasn't a perfect time because my in-laws weren't even at our wedding. My father-in-law was military, and his mom, I guess the assignment that he was on, that was the closest time that she could go and see him, and she hadn't seen him in a while. And so, of course, we told her to go see him.
Yeah.
And so, but your grandmama represented, and
She
your
did.
sisters.
Shots out.
So
Rest in peace.
yeah. So
Viola
that there is no. I believe that too. That there isn't, and y'all, what y'all don't realize is that we're ministering to ourselves as we give that one to y'all, and so just make sure y'all pin that one right there, okay?
It becomes perfect.
We talk about this a lot as well, and we just did, but this is in addition to it. Marriage is teamwork. We just said it. Y'all on the same team. We're on the same team. Tackle your issues side by side. We wholeheartedly, honestly, we do it. And it's even maybe in the last several years, I think we've become even more intentional about making sure that we're dealing with stuff before it come back and deal with us.
Yeah.
Because if you don't deal with it, it's going to deal with you. And
Pretty
so
much.
we don't do that. He don't say, well, Deirdra, that's your problem, so you deal with it. Or I don't say, Johnny, that's your issue, you deal with it. We tackle it, whether it's something that's happening on, purpose, or should I say an issue that happens that comes up with him, or something that he's dealing with, or it's something that, is happening in my life that I may be dealing with or whatever, we still tackle it together. Yeah. And so support each other.
No matter what it is.
Right.
This is the unique way to say this. Nothing's pretty ever grows in the soil of
of selfishness. The way we say it is, be selfless. Marriage is selfless. Period. What they say? Period, Paul. Marriage is selfish. Marriage ain't for the selfish people. Put it like that.
You can't be selfish and be in a marriage.
Yeah.
It's tough to do that and be in any type of relationship.
Right.
A marriage. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there are going to be things that you want to do, things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Sacrifices that you want to make, sacrifices that you don't feel like making. And sometimes people are not honest about the fact that they don't want to do everything when their spouse asks them to do it.
Yeah.
Like, why are we lying?
everything that I do, it don't work. As
right.
much as I say it's gonna work, much as I say I want to do it, I done thought it through. That thing just don't work.
Yeah. It ain't for the self. You have to be completely selfless. I think about, and this is like complete honesty, I think about before I make a decision, before he makes a decision, we think about how it's going to affect the other person.
Yeah.
Like, period, because I'm his helpmate. And so he takes a great pride in the fact that I'm his wife. Ain't that cute? Mm-hmm. That cute. And so we think about each other before we make decisions, before we make moves.
What just happened?
We think, I don't know, I was just feeling all girly and bubbly. And so we do. We take the time to think about what would happen. What would this feel like if this happened to him, or if I allowed this to if I made this decision, how would it impact him? And so he says the same thing about me. And so there are times when, at night when I've said, baby, we used to live right down the street from Dairy Queen. And I would be like, baby, I want me some ice cream.
It just rule.
No, clean those. And he'd get up and put his clothes on and go get me some ice cream. Well, now that is punkin'.
You break the third wall.
and y'all, and I that was a completely selfless act because you didn't feel like getting up sometimes when I asked you to go get some ice cream. I'm not talking about like getting up out of the bedroom to go into the kitchen to go get it. I'm talking about putting clothes on and going and getting in the car and going down the street to get Dairy Queen. And so of course it extends into not just simple stuff like that, but you deal with even more in-depth stuff in marriage where it calls for you to be selfless when it comes to your spouse. And so check yourself when it comes to
before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, before you wreck yourself.
I couldn't help it. It was, if she put it there, she set me up. I had to knock it out the park.
You're
check
crazy.
yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, marriage will definitely help you if you stick with it. Even if you maybe don't realize that you're a selfish person. Once you get into marriage, baby, it's gonna turn your life around. And don't fight it; just allow it to happen, because
it's necessary.
We're in a great space, and here we are 30 years later, and we had to learn it. Because you'd be like, oh well, I'm not selfish, but then this person want to eat the last bit of your salad dressing when theirs is in the refrigerator.
I knew she felt something. That just happened last night.
A few feet away.
That just happened last night.
And so as he was pouring my wonderful balsamic vinaigrette, y'all, it's the good kind that I done told y'all about before. So I'm sitting at the table eating my food, and he's making his salad, and then he does like this. This is my bottle of dressing that was on the counter, and he does it like that and pours it on. And his is in the refrigerator. I said, did you really just eat the rest of my dressing?
I said?
You say, yeah. It's okay. You already bought some more. I didn't buy no more of that kind. I just picked up like the cheaper kind.
And then what did I say?
And I just really didn't feel like turning around and walking to the refrigerator to get mine.
I ain't meant that.
What did you say?
You're telling all my business. Just telling all my business.
What did you say?
I ain't meant that. I said, I'll buy you some more.
Oh, you did tell me you would buy me some more.
She gonna tell all my business.
Sorry.
I ain't felt like turn around
to walk a few feet away to the refrigerator.
It was more than a few.
Oh.
Few is 3. It was more like 7.
Shut up. But yeah. So, this is something that I think we have practiced even before we really thought about the fact that we do it, even in the crazy days when we were crazy. Why are you laughing?
She said, do it.
Sickening, y'all. Think about what you say before you say it. That's what we've learned. Before you do it. That's a way. Do it.
Beavis and Butthead.
Do it.
They probably
we did this, and again, not thinking about it, really think about what you say before you say it. We haven't been those people to like just come out of the box on one another and just be intentionally mean to one another.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I think because we're married and because we know each other, there are certain things we know how to do to push the buttons. It's not necessarily words, but in my mind, it's certain things that I just couldn't do because I had a house full of girls.
Yeah, okay.
So I just couldn't. I had to be careful of what I said, how I said, the tone, the sentences, everything. So it was a practice that I did, and then it became who I was.
Right.
So, and I'm the best thing about my communication is that I do a lot of listening.
And in communication, we really stress the fact that you listen to understand and not to respond.
Yeah. So I do
And
a
that's
lot
what
of
we
listening.
go by.
And if I don't understand something when I'm listening, then I tell you, give me a minute.
Right. You do.
Give me a minute because I got to
And I had to
comprehend.
learn to give him that time.
Yeah, because she wanted me to talk right away.
Right. His
my emotions be someplace and then I'm finna come off and I'm finna call. I'm about to do, and I ain't need to do that. The girls ain't need to see me do that. You know, they ain't need to see me do all that.
And they didn't need to see their daddy get stabbed. And
They ain't
so
need to see me do that.
I thank the Lord that was giving him discernment even way back when. And so I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she
Why
actually
you looking at me
said,
like that?
she actually said, and this is about thinking about what you say before you say it. She said, for the longest, Deidra, people will always say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words do hurt. And people do remember words. Yeah, you try to forgive people and move on once you've, asked for forgiveness or once you've given them, forgiveness or whatever. But words do hurt. And so I think that was something that I thought about a long time ago, that just because we were in a tense situation, I didn't have to make it worse by calling you out of your name or, stuff like that. Stuff come out when you're angry, but intentionally give those words and say those words to your spouse to uplift and not to tear down.
Yeah.
Because they do matter. There's life and death in the tongue. And so I want to see Johnnie thrive and win and all these things. And so I speak life and not death.
Yeah.
I think we've always been thinkers as far as making decisions. Nope, I'm lying, because at one point we weren't. I do remember. I quickly remember that, because remember when we went on our anniversary to Charleston, and it was this really nice TV.
One of the dumbest decisions
it was really
we ever made.
a really nice TV. It was that good heavy black wood. It was a TV. No, it was a stereo. Nope, I'm lying.
It was a TV.
It was a TV,
but
and
it was on a stand.
It was on a stand, and
So
it had the glass
it had
doors
speakers on the side.
Yep,
at the
to the bottom.
And it had a little shelving at the
Right,
bottom.
with the glass door in the front. It was absolutely beautiful.
This is how we found out about credit.
Right.
Because
And
we went in and we looked at it, and we was like, this is real nice.
Right.
It'd be nice to bring back, you know what I'm saying? So we was window shopping. And then all it took was, you like that?
we can run your credit and see.
Let's run your credit and see. You could walk out of that here with that today with
today.
nothing, money.
No money down.
And being young at
Needless
that time,
to say, we
this
left
is what, this
Myrtle
is what
Beach.
I heard.
Well, where were we? Charleston or Myrtle Beach?
Charleston. This is what I heard. You can get this for no money. That's what I heard.
You was about to make me cuss. This fool said that's what y'all. I really believe that's what he heard.
Listen to me, because when we got that TV back, I wasn't trying to pay no payments. I was like, we can get this for no money. That's all I heard.
And they had a type of thing where you didn't have to pay the next month. You
ain't
like
got it. You got
a couple months.
A couple of months for
and then you start the payments.
And we literally look. It wasn't even the last day of our little get. We had the TV in where we had the van.
In the van, I think we had a van.
We had the TV in the van, riding around with a brand new TV in the van.
And it was absolutely it was large, and it was really nice.
At some point, somebody said, "Let's see what else we can get with credit."
That somebody would be me. We didn't leave with anything else.
We didn't.
However, they called us, and a couple months after we didn't make the payment,
they might be fans of the podcast.
Well, and we said, I told them, I'm sorry, we should have never walked out of that store with this television. We can't afford this. Can you come send somebody to come get it? No, just take another month or so. We can delay the payment. Think about it. Okay.
And I told her.
And so they called us.
The people said, you can get this today for no money. That's why they don't want it.
And so they called us again. They called us like a couple months later. Listen, I should have just let you come pick it up a couple months ago when you called. We really can't afford this TV.
They wasn't trying to give us that TV back.
Take another month, and we'll call you back. And then that's when they call and they say, "Hi,
we got a stereo.
We're calling about the stereo that you got."
Oh no,
sorry, we never got a stereo. Yeah, we have you down for a stereo. No, it's a TV, and we've asked y'all to come get it because we can't afford it. Oh, okay. Well, we'll call you back. Couple months went by. I have never ever heard of this in my life. Couple months go by, they called us back. Hi, we're calling about the stereo that you got, and we haven't received a payment. Sir, it's not a stereo. It's a TV. It's with a stand. We still can't afford it. Can y'all come get it? Okay, we're going to check on that. We'll call you back. They never came and got it, and they never called us back. No, I want to say that they sent us saying that your stereo was paid off in full. They did.
I guess they just got tired of us. And I told Deirdra, I said,
we never paid a penny for it.
I said back then I had the Spirit of the Lord in me. And he spoke through me and said,
that's a whole lie.
He spoke through me and said, you can get this TV for no money.
So we said, even though that's not a big purchase or a big decision, it was a decision that we made. And we tried to fix it.
Y'all can't tell me none of y'all ain't never said that before.
I don't think
they said no money.
They said no money down.
You get this TV today for no money. That's what I heard.
That wasn't the case, y'all. However, we did, we had that TV for a long time.
We've learned our lesson.
But in essence, don't, make big decisions just off of a whim.
Yeah.
That could really affect, your life, and your credit.
Not knowing what all this stuff means, your credit, all that. Ain't nobody taught us about that credit.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do some skipping around.
Yeah, we're going to actually go through the rest of these, so if you write and you can pause it and do that or whatever. Pray always.
Never can have.
We don't even need to elaborate on that. Pray always. Often. Amen. Amen.
Focus on the good, not the bad. Most people tend to give the bad stuff more attention than the good stuff. You can't forget what you have accomplished in your marriage.
Right.
You can't forget all the good stuff that you've done, the good times. You can't forget that. Yeah, you're going to have bad times, tough times, but you got to remember, people who want to not have the relationship no more, think about when you first met your spouse. Think about all that stuff. Focus on the good stuff. You can get through it. Next.
Do regular check-ins. That's what we call it. They put something similar to it, but we do regular check-ins. We were just telling a couple of this last night. Do regular check-ins. It's needed. It's necessary. They use the analogy of when the car light comes on, engine light comes on. You got to get it checked. We believe we not waiting until lights come on.
Yeah.
Do the check-ins.
We hear Noah, when you driving and you be like, You heard that?
No, I ain't heard it.
Come over here. I need to check you. I need to check your oil.
You got to fill me up with some more oil?
I don't know yet. I got to pull the stick. This is regular podcast.
Okay, we sorry.
Look at Alice.
We sorry. Right. She about dang near purple at this point.
Oh my
What's
God.
going on? Okay, y'all, we moving. We actually already said this as a part of another one. Don't go to bed angry. We really, really make an effort to try not to. There are some nights, like when we was tussling some weeks ago, I was tense, y'all. I was real tense. But I was like, Lord, me every night. I was like, Lord, I love him. Oh, I love him, Lord, I love him.
She kissed me every night.
And I wasn't angry. I was frustrated. So there's a difference. But
she would pray for me. She'll put her hand on me, but it'll make a little smack. But I took it because I knew it was a little, And I don't mind being smacked. All right.
Laugh often, y'all. As y'all can see, we laugh a lot, and this is just not for y'all. We laugh a whole lot.
This is our whole entire life.
We laugh. What they say, laughter does the soul good. Yeah. Laughter is good medicine. Laughter is good for the soul. It can be from anything, y'all. It don't matter what it is.
It's just our personality.
If Johnny start a beatbox, I'm gonna give him a song. If he walk by and brush me while we getting ready for work in the morning, I'm going to work. It's just a given. you know.
Nice and she still know how to twerk. She did it. She tried to do an anniversary twerk for me.
I did do one.
She almost ain't went to work.
What he did was bust a rhyme on me. He said, I said, you ready for your anniversary twerk? He said, if you twerk, you might not make it to work. Well, needless to say, I twerked and I made it to work because he was off.
Because she ran out the door.
I did.
She ran, literally.
So again, that's just part of our shenanigans. Y'all laugh. It's a lot of stuff happening in the world. It's just too much on the news and on Facebook, on Instagram, on the news. I already said that. Just wherever. Laugh often, y'all. I'm for real. Like,
and that's what makes us laugh.
Right. It's like some people, because I say do it. Stuff like that. Do it.
Come on, y'all.
I mean, y'all, I'm for real. Like, for real. You know, some people are just really, really tense, especially in their marriages. Y'all ain't having fun. And that's why sometimes the people, the other person want to get out because, like, you a old grumper puss, you know, is that a word?
I think you just made that up.
I just made it up. Like, let me tell y'all about like a laugh. Let me tell y'all something. So, my thing.
I'm going to look that up.
A grumper puss? My whole thing is, like, look for opportunities to have fun. What day was that, baby? Saturday. I slept. He let me sleep in Saturday. He had to get up and work, but he's like, baby, I want you to sleep in. So I did, and he came in the room, and he was getting ready to go back in his office, y'all. We some whole fools. He was about to go back to his office. I said, baby, wait before you leave. And then I was laying in the bed. I reached my hand out, and I said, come on. And so he threw his phone out of his pocket on the floor. And what else did you have in your hand?
I just kicked my shoes.
Kicked the shoes off, y'all. And he walked, ran, leaped on the bed on top of me and hugged me. And it was so funny, first and foremost, because of the slow motion run walk that happened to get him on the bed.
Listen.
And he told me he didn't want to break the bed, so he didn't jump on the bed.
I ain't no little fella.
Right.
So when I ran, I had to make sure when I jumped on his bed, first of all, it didn't collapse. Second of all, when I jumped on the bed, I didn't have to immediately rush her to the hospital because I done break something. So I was very strategic in the
But it was funny. It was romantically funny because I didn't expect him to do it.
Let me tell y'all what a grumper puss is. It's actually a clothing line.
How did you spell it? I'm so sick of you. It is something.
It's a clothing line that got panties with a face of a cat on the private part.
What in the world have I done? Okay, just delete that whole word.
I want y'all to see that.
Delete that whole word.
That's a grumper puss. Nah.
You're crazy. Okay, we moving, baby.
When they say you can Google stuff, anything.
They mean it. They mean it, baby. Okay, so I think we've said this one too before as a part of another one. Forgive quickly. Forgive. If we haven't said that, I'm saying it now. Forgive quickly. Sometimes it's going to be necessary and often. I know. I'm going back.
Okay.
Forgive quickly. I forgive Johnny. Try to forgive him quickly.
She wanted to tussle the other day, though.
No, but for real, like, my spirit doesn't sit well if we're not talking and I'm holding something or being mad at him for something. And so, like, legit, I'm convicted to forgive him and move on. Do we just brush it off and don't talk about it? If it needs to be talked about, we talk about it. But I forgive. We forgive quickly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's too much to carry.
Saying I forgive. That make it sound like I do a lot of bad
No, stuff. I was just playing. But we do forgive quickly.
I do stuff.
Shut up, boy.
I do.
All right. So the next one. You can choose to do the right thing, even when your spouse does it.
Now
you want to elaborate on that because obviously you do.
This right here, I feel like is where the change in your relationship can happen. Your spouse is human. So sometimes you just want to be mad and you don't want to feel better right now. You want to sulk a little bit.
Excuse me.
And you might say something to your spouse that's a little that stings a little bit. And your spouse might feel like, well, what you ain't finna do is come at me and talk to me like this, that, and the other. Now you matching their mood or what they're doing. But you can still make good decisions. You can still be what they call the bigger person at this time because it's needed for your relationship.
Yeah.
You got to remember, you making the decision for the relationship, not for yourself. I get your feeling might be hurt, but you know that's not how they really feel. And most people say when you get angry and mad, you say what you really feel. No, you don't. You say what your emotions say you feel. That's what you say.
And to inflict pain.
Yeah. Because when you feel in a certain way, that's what your feeling's supposed to do. Your feelings get hurt. So you feel some kind of way. But your emotions, and I've said this before, your emotions are loyal to your feelings and nothing else. So whatever you feeling, whether it's happy, sad, whatever, your emotions got you. So it's about to take it to a 10. So when you feeling the way you feeling, if it's feeling some kind of way and you want to say something, what your emotions gonna do is put a little hot sauce on what you saying,
right,
to make it sting a little bit. But somebody got to be the bigger person. So I think that's
don't just don't just
so
do
you can still
one
make
thing
the right.
your
You can
spouse
still
is
do
doing
the
it.
right thing and make the right decision when your spouse is not doing it.
Yeah. All right. Love in essence, in a nutshell, love hard. Love each other hard, love each other strong. Show love not only in by word, but in action, by deed, by serving one another. To me, love. I remember one of my, and I've long since not used it anymore, but one of my things that I would use is something I was using it for on some program that app that I used to use or whatever was Love Wins, and I strongly believe that you will go and feel it's a love that you've never really known before, especially in marriage, because when you cultivate it, it grows day by day. And so I would say that I love Johnnie and I've loved him. I feel like I've loved you since I first saw you.
Oh,
You just messed up a special.
and I do love you.
No, it was.
I've cracked myself up.
Stupid. You do love me, baby?
I do love you.
You do love me. Okay. Well, yeah. Love is patient, it's kind, and it also helps you to put that person first. Just like I said, when you think about any decisions or doing anything, I'm careful because I don't want to, first and foremost, jeopardize his heart or anything else. Love hard, love strong, and don't be afraid to love. That's what I got to say.
Okay. Next.
Marriage is sanctification.
That was the mother.
That was it.
That was the mother sound.
Yeah, because it says the goal of the sanctification process in marriage, God's goal is to shift our focus off ourselves and onto those around us. He wants to teach us to consider their needs as more important than our own. And like I said before, it's just you learn to become, if you go through the process, the ups and the downs, and don't just quit on marriage the first sign of trouble, it really does. You learn a selflessness like you've never learned before, and it humbles you. And because we go through things and we've been through things, y'all, that you would be like, how after this person has maybe, not cared for my heart well, how do I still love them in spite of all their flaws? How does he still love me in spite of all my flaws? It's because, God, because of the way that, the relationship that we have with Christ, it allows us to love one another, extend that love to each other. And so I'm a better person having been in this marriage. And if you can't say that, then you might need to check. What you say? Check your motives or check
yourself
yourself.
before you wreck yourself.
Boy, we knew that was coming. We knew that was coming. But like legit, it has. It truly has. With all the things that have, the good things, the bad things, the indifferent things that have happened, I'm a better person because of you, because of this whole process that we've gone through, because we started it as literally children.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I can say the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next one, y'all, we at 20. The next one, respond, don't react. I think that's enough said.
That's self-explanatory.
Respond, don't react. Be clear about what you say. Choose your words carefully.
Yeah.
Let that emotional roller coaster pass on by you. Don't jump on it.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't jump on it. Watch out for traps. I think one of our podcasts that we did was called Gateways.
Yeah.
And I believe that
doorways, windows.
That is a good thing. We are very aware of traps. So you have to watch out for the gateways, the traps. And they don't seem that bad, but they basically leave the door open. So what I found out about if you ever drive at night and deers go across the street, what happens is the big deers, I don't know what you call it, the bucks, they usually send the little deers out first. And if the little deers don't get hit, then they'll cross the road. Say what? It is trifling, but that's what happens. That's why you always, most of the time, you don't never see the bucks by the road. You see the does by the road. And what happens is they send them out to see if it's safe for them to go out. And then you will see a buck every now and then cross the road. But most of the time, when you see deers crossing the road, the first ones you see running across the road is the babies. And then the mama, and then the daddy come crossing the road last. I don't know why it's like that, but that's just how it is. But you got to watch out for the traps. Never lose your temper at the same time. That's one of the traps. If I'm mad, that can be both of the things, one of the traps. I can be mad about something and at work, and then I can come home, and then I'm looking at her, and I got an attitude already, and I'm just saying stuff, and I'm snapping at her. She can easily get mad too. Don't bring your work stuff home, and then it can be
and that's all that is this.
That's what, yeah. So
all night,
knowing your spouse and understanding, like we said, we human. So sometimes I am at my little breaking point, and I can't correct it before I see her. So she allows me to be comfortable enough to just be who I am. Now, she don't let me run all reckless. She'll pat me and say, all right, go on take a shower tonight, get you a glass of wine or something and breathe, relax. Which is kind of a little scary to me when she when she start talking to me like that. That's a little scary. And he gets a little
troubled.
I calm down and she saying stuff like, "Oh, all right, go on, take a shower, drink a little glass of wine, breathe, relax." I'm like, okay. It just sound like something bad about to happen.
He making it seem like I'm setting him up for something. So the next one, if you must argue, they say argue naked. I feel like this. We too big to be around here arguing. We both grown. We can talk about a conversation. That's not necessarily untrue. It might add a little laughter into it.
But
You might fall into each other's thresholds if you're arguing.
that's new.
And you stop that, it might
But
stop
listen,
you from arguing.
it
I
don't-
just
it
say
don't
have a whole
solve
lot
nothing.
of sex.
But I do.
But it
believe,
helps it.
I do believe if you argue naked, that'll take the intensity out of the room. Still have a conversation, but that'll take the intensity out of the room. Now, don't just have sex, because then it's probably gonna be angry sex, which ain't bad. Angry
But makeup sex is better.
But makeup sex is better because on the other end you cuddle.
Right.
Angry sex don't solve nothing.
Angry
And then
sex,
when
he
y'all
feel
finish,
like
you
a
kinda
whore when
push
you're
him
done. Right.
On your side. That
But
don't solve nothing.
But the one thing I tell Johnny all the time, and this might be TMI, but I be like, I love it when he's emotional. That excites me.
You ever heard that before? It's like in my pain, she turned on. I'm crying. I feel bad. And I turn and look around and she just naked looking at me. You look so hot. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Come and let me console you.
Come lay in my bosom.
Come to my bosom. Y'all, we moving. Be intentional about nurturing your marriage. Nurture. We say it all the time. We plan stuff. We might miss a date night, but we trying to be somewhere watching a movie, eating dinner, going for a ride in the truck, windows down, listening to music. You have to be intentional about nurturing your marriage. Y'all hear us say on previous podcast episodes that I would be the one that would be saying, okay, babe, slow down. Okay, babe, I know we got stuff going on with the girls, but we got to nurture our relationship because if we don't, we won't have one. And they'll leave, and then the next thing you know, we'll be in somebody's court or somebody filing some paperwork saying, what, we just grew apart or, something like that. There's people, irreconcilable differences or we grew apart. They differing in some things in the marriage.
They different.
They wasn't doing it enough. No,
that's the problem.
Right. Well,
you
people do
doing
say
it and you backed up too. That's a problem.
Nurture the relationship, y'all. What you sow into is what's gonna come up, what's gonna grow. You gotta nurture it. You gotta spend time. You have to make it a priority. And so to get to 30 years, even though we may not have realized it at the beginning, we learned it and we put it in place. And so that's why we're here. Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you aren't pulling together, you're drifting apart.
That's what part right there. That's we just said.
That's enough said.
We drifted apart.
If you ain't working together,
we just grew apart.
If you ain't planning together, if you ain't building together, if you ain't doing it together, you're drifting apart.
Yeah.
So self-explanatory.
And then you don't know each other. So how can you be together if you're not getting to know?
Like that.
It's called relationship. Relate to each other. Ladies.
And men.
Well, and men, because I've heard men do it. Nagging your spouse does not. Now, some do it and do get away with it. Nagging the spouse.
They think they do.
They think, well, yeah, in the long run, they get tired of it. Especially, and you hear it a lot, that it's the woman nagging the man.
Yeah, but there's some men out there.
Yeah, it's some men.
Who the woman do everything he say, and then you still can't. He still ain't happy.
Right, but at the end of the day, it's for us, just woman to woman. The nagging don't help, and I don't think I've ever been a nagger.
Well,
have I ever been a nagger?
One time when she was trying to get me to go to church because she fell in love with the Lord.
Oh yeah. No, at that time I did.
On fire,
but then I quickly stopped.
Say little stuff. Oh well, you the head of household. So you leading us. I guess you leading us to hell because that's what you going to be. You ain't taking us no way. You ain't going to church. And now you know what I used to say? Well, you can make a left or right turn. You ain't got to come to hell with me. She used to be mad, boy. She used to be mad.
Don't be petty. That's the next one. Just don't be petty.
That's not the next one.
That is the next one. It says, when you feel like saying, I told you so, bite your tongue. Don't be petty.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what it's
that could be the
saying.
name.
Just don't be petty. Like, of course there will be moments when you're in the marriage where a little pettiness is called for. But
You ain't got to say it all the time.
right, like
If you was right, you ain't got to say it all the time. Your body language probably already say it.
right.
You
I think
ain't said it.
I witnessed a
but
little
when you
pettiness before we started recording.
From who?
Allison to Jameson. Did I just put their business out there? I did. And I called her out. I said, now that was a tad bit petty, Allison.
Yeah.
And so, but the I told you so's, especially when you're in tense situations and something has happened maybe on the job or something like that or whatever, that's just adding fuel to the fire. And you're going to get a result, a response that you didn't look for. Okay? Okay. Use it or lose it.
Yeah, I had to read this a little bit.
Oh, so they actually are talking about stuff.
Yeah, I had to read it a
like
little bit.
Like at one point, I
what
think Johnny do feel like I'm a hoarder. I've learned to release stuff a little better now. Now I think that he's the hoarder because he has a closet full of clothes and he'll say that he doesn't. But a lot of stuff he has had for a long
Don't get it twisted. She throws stuff away, but then she buy double the stuff back. This part does also say for married couples, a vibrant sex life. If I lose it, it's because I use it too much. Allison, look.
I'm gonna move along. I'm gonna move along.
Keep saying stuff like
right,
this.
Absolutely. That's self-explanatory. I'm not adding no more. I'm not taking away no more. Pray consistently. And I think we said that. That was already one of them. Pray for your spouse, y'all. There are times when, and of course we give full transparency. There are times when, especially situations that I'm at a point to where I'm like, I don't have the words to say it. I don't feel like it. I don't know what to say. The situation has got me into a place where, I'm at a loss for words. And so even in those moments, because we are so closely connected, because we are literally spirit talking to spirit, he'll, he intercedes for me. And I'm the same way for him, and that's important. It's very important because it's the lifeline, to Christ. So when I can't get to him because of maybe some things that I've got going on that's getting in the way of me being able to communicate what I'm feeling to God, I know that's what Johnny does for me. And I told him that's the way, for me, that's the greatest form of intimacy. When he prays for me, when he speaks life into me, when he says what thus saith the Lord. And I feel like those are some of the most intimate conversations. And a lot of people would think that the more intimate conversations that you would have with your spouse is about what I'm gonna do to you tonight and what I did to you last night and in the bedroom. But for us, because we both have relationships with God, of course, relationship separately. I'm not dependent on his relationship with Christ. I've cultivated my own as well as he. Those times that has absolutely no sex involved, no sex conversation involved, but we're talking about the goodness of God. We're talking about, the things that we knew that maybe happened that particular day while we were on our jobs, that was God ordained for us to speak into a person's life, or that we've come across a person that we were able to pray for, or just whatever. Those are the most intimate conversations that we have between us. And so I feel like when you can get to that point with your spouse, then that's, to me, that's even a better place, a better part of the relationship to have. And so I thank God for that part of our relationship.
Yeah. Intimacy means closeness.
Yeah.
Not sex. Closeness.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say that. It doesn't mean intercourse.
Yeah.
It means closeness.
And this last one, y'all, the way they worded it was living happily ever after doesn't happen by a chance. It's a choice. When I read the "It's a choice," I thought about the saying of my husband, "Go be successful. It's a choice." Our marriage is successful because we intentionally made it at the top of our priority. We made each other the top priority in each other's lives, right up under God. And so this is intentional. We made a choice a long time ago, and I'm sure, if y'all will go back and listen, if y'all haven't, we talked about that breaking point that we got to, that we had to sit down. This was after one of the times that he, said it was him, it wasn't me, and he left. And that last time when he came back, we sat down and made a conscious decision that if we were going to be in it, we were going to be all in. No leaving, no divorcing. Divorce was not an option at that point. No separation, no sleeping in separate rooms or houses, but that we were all in.
The rooms was okay.
And we were intentional. Well, for me, well, ask him about a room now.
No, the rooms ain't okay now. But you grow to that part. But you got to understand, sometimes it gets to a point to where you need a little space. But leaving the house is not the answer. That's not the answer. If you have to go in another room, that's better to do in the same house.
Well, we sleeping in the same bed. And if it's something that's going on, although we try not to let the sun go down, he's just going to be on his side of the bed and I'm going to be all the way on my corner. And he's going to know something wrong because I always sleep up under him.
Always. And no matter how big the bed is, it's always. You can fit 2 more people on her side of the bed.
Always.
That's how much.
I'm always there.
Up under me.
Always.
I'm like a prisoner in the bed on the corner.
Always. He's a prisoner of my love.
If I turn.
Always. You're going to be on top of me.
Oh, if I turn, though.
You're going to be on top of me.
Or I'm going to be on the floor.
You're going to be on top of me.
Oh, I'm going to be.
This is 30 years, y'all. This
30
is
things.
Us.
Thank y'all for sharing,
this is
for
us.
listening.
This is us.
This is us.
This is us.
You can't steal the people's.
Here we are. Here we are. We do not own the rights to this song.
But I don't even know nothing.
We don't know no more.
You and I. You and I. You and I.
You
Now let me tell y'all where the song come from.
Good Times.
Michael used to sing on Good Times. We don't know who the real person is.
Right. We don't know who the real person is. We just know Lil Michael
used to sing it when he got a little, got in a little sexy age.
Show,
yeah,
right?
He sung the song, and all them girls had like him after that.
Yeah. So this Lil is Michael. Us. It's you and I.
You and I.
Forever. Forever, ever.
Yeah.
That's what happened after 30 years. You start finishing each other's sentences. You call each other, what you want for dinner?
And then you sing
and he'd be thinking about KFC grilled chicken. And I'd be like, what about KFC grilled chicken? And he'd be like, girl, you.
And that when we started singing.
That happens a whole lot, y'all.
When we started singing, that was not practice. That it literally, we thought about that at the exact same time.
Spirit talking to the spirit.
All right, y'all. We're going to go now. This has been an extra long podcast, but we wanted to get all the 30 in because it's our 30 years. We've been married, and it's a special time.
Hallelujah.
And it's not taken for granted. It's an intentional put forth the effort for this success in our marriage. And I look forward to spending 30 more, plus 30 more.
Plus 30 more.
Plus 30 more.
Amen. And we bless the Lord because all glory, he gets the glory out of all of this.
Oh, Jesus. Because
all of this
is still here.
Because without him, I would be nothing. Without him, we would be nothing. Without him, we would fail. We would fail.
This wouldn't be nothing. Y'all got to hear me.
But he loves us, and we love him. And God, don't take your hand off of us.
Allison, we go praise God.
Yeah. And we pray the same twin. Well, no, they can't have no more churn. We just we thank the Lord.
Thank y'all for spending this time with us.
Yes.
The day after our anniversary.
We're the Mobleys, Junior And this is us, 30 years
Moments with the
married.
Mobleys.
What's your name?
My name is Johnnie Mobley Jr.
And I'm his wife, Deirdra Mobley.
And we something like an ordinary couple.
With extraordinary, exceptional, exponential purposes.
Hun, all these words. Peace out, y'all. Thank y'all for
Good
joining us tonight.
night. Peace and blessings to you all.